American democracy was designed like a building, with a blueprint, a foundation, and load-bearing walls. But blueprints only work if we keep building. Today, we're going to look at the architecture of our democracy, what's cracking, what's missing, and how everyday people can help rebuild it. Right now, our democratic system faces two crises at once. The first is systemic rigging, a structural problem like a Capitol building with a compromised foundation. The second is social fracturing. The ropes that are supposed to bind us together as citizens are fraying strand by strand. Fix only one and the building still falls. Think of democracy as running on two engines. Engine one is the hardware, the mechanical gears of rules, laws, and institutions. Engine two is the software, the woven human gear of trust, norms, and civic participation. You need both engines turning together or the whole machine grinds to a halt. Our motto is E pluribus unum, out of many, one. That unity rests on four columns, each supporting the structure of self-government. When even one column weakens, the whole edifice becomes unstable. Strengthening all four is how we keep the roof from caving in. Here's something most people don't realize. The U.S. Constitution is like an anchor, heavy, stable, but nearly impossible to move. It's been amended only a handful of times in over 2 centuries. State constitutions, by contrast, are agile, amended far more frequently. That agility gap shapes how quickly we can respond to a changing country. Civic engagement doesn't happen by accident. It's a funnel. Studies comparing humanities and STEM graduates show a real gap in downstream voting and civic action. What we study and how we're taught to think about people in power shapes whether we show up at all. There are two competing loops that define our politics. The zero-sum doom loop feeds on distrust, tribalism, and gridlock, each stage reinforcing the next. The bridging flywheel does the opposite. Trust builds cooperation, cooperation builds results, and results build more trust. Which loop we feed determines which one wins. Real change often starts with a single conversation. Picture a graph of a long bridge conversation. Emotional activation spikes early, but if both people stay in the room, trust climbs steadily over time. The bridge only forms if we don't walk away at the first spike. Conflict escalates in stages. Intrapersonal first, then interpersonal, then intergroup, like 3 nested cubes, each one bigger and harder to de-escalate than the last. Catching conflict early before it scales up to entire groups is far easier than trying to repair it afterward. There's a critical difference between debate and dialogue. Debate aims to win, dialogue aims to understand. Debate focuses on being right, dialogue focuses on the relationship. And where debate means listening to respond, dialogue means listening to actually hear. Choosing dialogue changes everything downstream. Citizens have more power than they think, starting with something as simple as testifying at a legislative hearing. The playbook has 4 steps. Know the bill, prepare your testimony, show up and speak, then follow up with your representative. It's a repeatable process anyone can learn. Beyond testifying, there's a whole multi-lever model of civic power. 4 separate levers citizens can pull, from local organizing to ballot initiatives to direct advocacy to running for office themselves. Each lever moves the machine a little further forward. Here's the key insight, tying it all together. Structural reform and social bridging are interdependent. Reform without bridging leads to paralysis. Bridging without reform leads to powerlessness. Neither alone leads to decay. Only when both move together do we get true democracy. American democracy isn't a finished monument. It's an ongoing construction project, and every citizen holds a set of blueprints. The work isn't reserved for architects in Washington. It belongs to all of us, one plan, one conversation, one vote at a time. Let's get building.